In 1976, 50 years later, the outlaw Josey Wales still hits like a hollow-point bullet. Clint Eastwood's gritty revenge masterpiece didn't just redefine the Western, it assembled a legendary cast that brought the brutal American frontier to life in a way Hollywood has never been able to match since. You won't believe what happened to the last actor in this cast. Let's find out what really happened to the men and women of this iconic classic. Number 1. We have Will Sampson as Ten Bears. He was 42 years old when the film premiered in 1976. He carried the role of the powerful, visionary Comanche leader on his shoulders and passed away in 1987 at the age of 53, leaving an indelible legacy as a performer who brought authentic indigenous strength to the silver screen. After the film, he played legendary figures in projects like The White Buffalo and Orca for years before Poltergeist 2 flipped the script, casting him as the heroic Shaman Taylor, a role that cemented his status as a cinematic guardian for a new generation of horror fans. He was married to Jill Sampson at the time of his death in 1987. He was also previously married to Yana Marshall Reeves in 1953. He had several children, including actors Samsoch Sam and Lumhe Maiko Sampson. Will Sampson died on June 3, 1987, due to severe complications following a heart and lung transplant, including post-operative kidney failure. Number 2. We have Clint Eastwood as Josey Wales in The Outlaw Josey Wales. Clint delivered what many critics consider his finest performance, portraying a man who lost everything to the fires of war and spent the rest of the film not looking for trouble, just looking for a place to be. He was 46 years old when the film premiered in 1976. He carried the role of the vengeful Missouri farmer turned reluctant legend on his shoulders and turns 95 in 2026, standing as a towering monument to American cinema. After the film, he played gritty, uncompromising anti-heroes for years before Unforgiven flipped the script in 1992, deconstructing the very Western mythos he helped build and earning him Academy Awards for Best Director and Best Picture. As the decades passed, he transitioned into a prolific filmmaker. Clint Eastwood has been married twice, first to Margaret Maggie Johnson, 1953 to 1984, and later to Dina Ruiz, 1996 to 2014. He has had several high-profile relationships, including long-term partnerships with Sandra Locke and Frances Fisher, and was later partnered with the late Christina Sandera. Number 3. We have Bill McKinney as Captain Terrell in The Outlaw Josey Wales. Bill was the film's primary engine of vengeance, portraying the man whose Red Legs unit sparked Josey's transformation and who spent the rest of the film hunting him with a chilling, single-minded focus. He was 45 years old when the film premiered in 1976. He carried the role of the cold, relentless Union officer on his shoulders and passed away in 2011 at the age of 80, leaving a legacy as one of the most effective and terrifying character actors in Hollywood history. After the film, he played legendary heavies and rugged outdoorsmen for years before the cult classic Deliverance, which had originally flipped the script on his career, remained the benchmark for his ability to portray bone-chilling intensity. He died of esophageal cancer on December 1, 2011. Number 4. We have John Vernon as Captain Fletcher in The Outlaw Josey Wales. John was the film's moral gray area, portraying the man who leads the Redlegs on their hunt, not out of malice, but because he is bound by a surrender he truly believed would save his men. He was 44 years old when the film premiered in 1976. He carried the role of the conflicted, world-weary soldier on his shoulders and passed away in 2005 at the age of 72. After the film, he played legendary authority figures for years before Animal House flipped the script in 1978, casting him as the iconic, iron-fisted Dean Wormer, a role that proved his booming voice and stern demeanor were the perfect ingredients for comedic gold. He was married to Nancy West. The couple had 3 children together, including actresses Kate and Nan Vernon, before later divorcing. John Vernon died on February 1, 2005 in Los Angeles, California. According to reports from the Washington Post and other sources, his death was caused by complications following heart surgery. Number 5. We have Chief Dan George as Lone Waddy. In The Outlaw Josey Wales, Chief Dan George was the film's emotional anchor, portraying the displaced Cherokee man who joins Josey's makeshift family with a dry wit and a profound sense of loss. He was 76 years old when the film premiered in 1976. He carried the role of the wise, humorous, and weary companion on his shoulders and passed away in 1981 at the age of 82. After the film, he played legendary elders and spiritual guides for years, maintaining the momentum that had originally flipped the script on his life when he received an Academy Award nomination for Little Big Man at the age of 71. Before entering Hollywood, He had lived a full life as a longshoreman, a logger, and the chief of the Tsleil-Waututh Nation. Chief Dan George died on September 23, 1981, at Lions Gate Hospital in Vancouver, British Columbia, due to heart failure following a period of declining health. He passed away in his sleep, having suffered a hip injury in 1980. Some sources also affectionately attribute his decline to a broken heart following his wife's passing. Number 6, we have Joyce Jameson as Rose. In The Outlaw Josey Wales, Joyce was the film's vibrant spark of humanity, portraying the woman of the world, traveling with Laura Lee and her grandmother, whose weary optimism and sharp wit provided a necessary touch of warmth in a cold, violent frontier. After the film, she played the delicate Rose for a brief but memorable chapter before the industry's changing tides flipped the script on her career. She was 43 years old when the film premiered in 1976. She carried the role of the tragic, vulnerable traveler on her shoulders and passed away in 1987 at the age of 54 due to a drug overdose, with reports indicating she suffered from depression. He was married to actor and songwriter Billy Barnes. They were married in the 1950s and divorced in 1957. Number 7, we have Woodrow Parfrey as the carpetbagger. In The Outlaw Josey Wales, Woodrow provided a sharp, satirical edge to the frontier, portraying a man selling miracle elixirs while dodging the very violence he helped profit from. He was 53 years old when the film premiered in 1976. He carried the role of the slick, fast-talking opportunist on his shoulders and passed away in 1984 at the age of 61. After the film, he played legendary, shifty characters and nervous intellectuals for years before the industry's shift toward high-concept blockbusters flipped the script, though he remained a staple of television classics like The Waltons and Charlie's Angels, with over 150 credits to his name, including a memorable turn as the judge in Planet of the Apes. Number 8, we have Geraldine Keams as Little Moonlight. She was 25 years old when the film premiered in 1976. She carried the role of the resilient and observant Navajo woman on her shoulders and turned 75 in 2026, continuing to be a vital voice for Indigenous storytelling in the modern era. After the film, she played the courageous Little Moonlight in what became a landmark role for her before her career flipped the script to include writing, directing, and professional storytelling. Number 9, we have Sandra Locke as Laura Lee. In The Outlaw Josey Wales, Sandra provided the film's emotional center, portraying the young woman rescued from the Comancheros, who eventually helps Josey Wales trade his pistols for a plow. She was 32 years old when the film premiered in 1976. She carried the role of the refined yet resilient pioneer woman on her shoulders and passed away in 2018 at the age of 74. After the film, she played the delicate Laura Lee for a season before her professional and personal partnership with Clint Eastwood flipped the script on her career, leading to a string of hits like Every Which Way But Loose and Sudden Impact. However, she refused to be defined only by her acting, stepping behind the camera to direct films like Rat Boy, proving she had a visionary, heartfelt perspective that reached far beyond the damsel in distress archetype. Sandra Locke died on November 3, 2018, at her Los Angeles home due to cardiac arrest. The underlying causes of her death were breast and bone cancer.